Hey guys, Nara here from Drakewing Gaming, so you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, guys. Please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes while I entertain you, and let's jump right in. Alarm chain, you're up, and let's go. Alright. We managed to finish all preparations right in the nick of time. I finished preparing the last dish just as the first guest knocked on the door. We rented these nifty chafing dishes for the night so we could keep the food warm while the guests enjoyed themselves. I really cut closer to the deadline than I feared. I stealthily dodged into Shuichi's room as the house began to fill up, using the change of clothes I prepared to make sure I was fresh enough to be at the party. The place filled up pretty quickly, though. I'm truly shocked. I guess Takahiko-san only knows very punctual people. I searched for Shuichi in the sea of people that has gathered in the living room. Less than 20 minutes after the set time, and most of the guests are already accounted for. I'm used to only seeing people arrive at least 1 hour after the decided time, so this is certainly a bit weird for me. I know he told me how many people he was planning on inviting for this party, but I never really stopped to think, though, what it would mean in a living room this big. The place isn't exactly cramped, but you try to find a specific person in the sea of people. It's been about 30 minutes since the party started. Everything has been going pretty smoothly so far. I even managed to talk Shuichi out of his crazy last-minute idea. Namely, that he should be cooking for his father instead. I can only imagine the disaster it would be if all these people were to unwittingly eat one of his nasty concoctions. I don't think they all realize just how close to death they came today. Ah! Just then I see him in a corner, talking to one of the guests. He laughs at something the man said and then walks away. Oh, he saw me. Hey, Yuichi, haven't seen you for a bit. I was afraid you bailed on me. I'm not gonna lie, the idea is tempting. I think I've already had 4 or 5 people stop me to try to talk about accounting. Or was it stocks? I don't even remember anymore. My dad's friends aren't exactly the most exciting bunch of people there are. You didn't seem to mind, though. I saw you smiling and laughing with a guy just now. I was just being polite. Over the years, I've gotten pretty good at faking laughter. Believe me, you need it to survive some of the situations I have to deal with. Oh, I believe it. What scares me is that now I'm going to be thinking about what he's really feeling the next time he's all smiles. Seriously, though, I didn't think this party would be this boring. Well, we're not the ones meant to be having fun here, you know. True, but would it hurt to at least have some decent music playing? I feel like I'm stuck inside an elevator. You wouldn't be too far off, to be honest. I just put together a playlist that wouldn't drown out conversation. You know, not everyone likes loud music and dancing. I don't like those things either, but I still think we might have been better off with those. Again, do remember this party isn't for our sake. Yeah. Your food seems to be a hit, though. Everyone that's tried it only had good things to say. I'd hope so. I labored over the stove for 6 hours to get everything done for today. Ha! Sorry. I promise I'll make it up to you for the help. No, you don't need to. I had fun helping you plan this thing, even if the party itself turned out to be pretty dull. You might say that, but the guests themselves seem to be enjoying it quite a bit. Of course they are. They're all old. Not everyone in my dad's firm is old, you know. There are at least 5 people in here under 30, not counting us, of course. I find that a little hard to believe, but I'll defer to your judgment. I'm just glad you're here to keep me company. I'd have probably gone to my room to scream in a pillow if I was here on my own. Oh, come on. I know this is boring, but it's not that bad in here. Try spending most of your life in places like these. Trust me, it starts to grate on your nerves little by little. I didn't know you've gone to these kinds of parties before. Is it really all that surprising? Dad wants me to join a good college so I can go to work for his company once I graduate. I'll get to live the same boring lifestyle he has. If you don't like the idea, then why don't you say something about it? It's not that simple. Well, why not? Like I said, it's complicated. Let's just talk about something else, okay? Okay? For some reason, his reaction seems a bit weird to me. I'm not quite sure of why it bothers me, though. It looks like it's almost time for Dad to arrive from the airport. Does flight land already? About 40 minutes ago. Dad sent me a message when he landed telling me to order some food so he had something to warm up to eat when he arrived. I'm pretty sure we overshot that goal here. Well, we literally have enough food to feed over a dozen people. I'm sure he's not going to be expecting that. I just hope your dad likes the food. After all, it's nothing fancy. He's been overseas for a while. I'm sure he's just been missing regular Japanese food. Well, in that case, we're probably safe. Of course we are. Plus, your food is so delicious, there's no way Dad would complain about it. Aw, thanks. There's a taxi pulling up in front of the house. Well, guess that's him. I wonder how surprised he'll be when he sees all the people in here. Hopefully we don't end up giving him a heart attack. That's why I didn't tell people to jump out and yell surprise. Fair enough. Although, to be honest, I really can't imagine Takahiko-san being that surprised. He's always been a very unflappable man. The ultimate poker face. Oh, wow. Wow, it looks... Holy shit, it just looks like a grumpier him. Grumpier, older him. As soon as Takahiko-san opens the door and walks in, he freezes. His eyes widen a little as he scans the room, seeing all the people gathered here now with their attentions turned to him. What's going on in here? It's a welcoming party. We decided to throw one for you since you were away for so long. Shuichi gives his father a few taps on the back. Takahiko-san stares at him with furrowed brows. I can't tell whether he's confused or annoyed. How did you even manage to organize all this? Yuichi helped me with the organization, and I used your contact book to find people to invite. Once I got in touch with one or two of your friends, finding the rest was easy. I see. He muttered dryly under his breath. It's been a while, Dad. It's good to see you again. Yes, it's good to see you too, I suppose. He scans the room another time, a small line showing up on his face. This might not be the worst idea. The elder husky makes a polite bow towards the crowd. Thank you for going along with my son's idea. This was a nice surprise indeed. Once he addresses them, his friends and coworkers start walking up to him, giving him little taps on the back, shaking his hand and chatting excitedly. Takahiko-san has a curt smile on his face the whole time. He's not the most emotive person, I know, so it's hard to tell what he's feeling at times. Shuichi once told me his father could have been having the happiest day of his life, and at the most he would just chuckle. Considering what I've learned about him over the years, I definitely take that to be true. Oh, and Yuichi-kun. Yes? He bows once again, this time for me. Thank you for helping my idiot son organize this. Idiot son? What gives? He merely grins at Shuichi's response. Oh, I know it will help you with your mood. Shuichi walks away from us and goes towards the chafing dishes where the food was being kept. Here you go, Dad. I'm sure this will feel great for you after such a long flight. Shuichi brings him a plate full of all the different foods I prepared today, presenting it to his father with glee. Takahiko-san eyes the plate suspiciously, hesitating for a second? Out of curiosity, who prepared this? Well, I wanted to, but Yuichi told me it would be the best if I handled the decoration, since I'm better with that sort of thing. He ended up doing all the cooking on his own. The cake is the only thing he didn't make. Oh, in that case, this is okay. After ascertaining that his son had no hand in the preparation of the meal before him, Takahiko-san accepts the plate with a smile. Needless to say, being Shuichi's father, Takahiko-san has been subjected to his son's lack of cooking skills for more often than I. I'm surprised he still chooses to keep it a secret. If I were in his shoes, I would have told Shuichi never to cook again much sooner. But then again, I also had a lot of his food to eat in the past 12 years, and I've never said anything. I guess we're all spineless in the end. Yuichi-kun, your cooking has improved a lot since I've last tasted it. Well, it has been a few years after all. I'm just glad you like it. Shuichi and I had a lot of fun planning this party. Surprised you two managed to plan something like this and get all these people here. My coworkers are usually incredibly busy. Well, not all the people we invited could come. I think at least 1/3 of them had to decline. Still, it's pretty great, isn't it? Yes, I will admit it is. If you don't mind, I'm going to mingle with my friends and coworkers for a bit. I will come back to you two later. Of course, Dad, have fun. Let me take this blazer off first. We'll need it inside my own house. Much better. Couldn't wait to take this damn thing off. I'll speak to you two later. Thank you again for the party, Yuichi-kun. Takahiko-san nods in my direction and walks away, quickly being engulfed by the mass of people in the room. That's weird. Why is he acting like I'm the one who organized the whole thing? He barely acknowledged you at all. Don't mind him. Dad's always like that. I don't remember him being like this when we were younger. People grow up. You can't treat me like a child forever. Getting recognition is being treated like a child? Since when? I don't know. It still doesn't sit well with me. He thanked the guests for coming, thanked me for organizing, and just kind of brushed you off. We just let it go. We're supposed to be enjoying ourselves here. Did I save it? Did I save it at all? Did I? No, probably not. Okay. We just let it go. We're supposed to be enjoying ourselves here. How? We're alone in the middle of the most boring party ever. Hey! Oh, boo-hoo. Don't get offended with that. Of course the party is going to be boring. It wasn't made with the two of us in mind. I mean, we're playing elevator music for crying out loud. I guess. But hey, at least we have food. Good food. I guess that's a start. So what are we supposed to do now? That is a good question. It'd be very useful if you could at least give a suggestion. What do you expect me to say? We can't just leave the party. That would just piss Dad off. How about we go up in my room and have some fun of our own? Can't we go to your room and do something in there? Oh my god. Yep, I called it. Play video games, maybe? Oh, yeah, man, I can, oh man, I can't wait to work the stick. It'd be great if we could, but Dad doesn't like it when I play video games after 8 p.m.
What are you, a child?
Don't look at me like that. I live in his house. At least I can do is follow his rules.
Yeah, but this is a house, not military boot camp.
What do you know about the military?
Shut up, that's not the point.
Gotcha. All joking aside, though, I have no idea what we could do. Just hang around and chat like this? Boring. Gee, sorry I'm not interesting enough for you, Your Highness.
Oh, come on, you know that's not what I meant.
Hope she gets here soon. You hope who gets here soon? Oh, nothing. It's nothing, really. Yuichi, who did you... Just in the sound of the door echoes behind us.
Aw, she's cute! Oh my god, she's so cute! Hey, big bro, how's the party going?
Hitoka? The girl standing before us is Hitoka, Shuichi's little sister. She crosses both of her arms, smiling smugly at her brother.
A little bird told me you didn't want to invite me to this super cool party you're throwing. What gives?
You called her over behind my back? Siblings aren't supposed to ignore one another, so yeah, I called her over. I've got half a mind to clobber you in the head with a bat.
Now, violence is never the answer.
You're so dead.
Seriously, Shuichi, why didn't you want to invite me? You throw a party for our dad and you don't put me on the guest list? I'm wounded.
It's complicated.
Oh, please, don't it's complicated me. You're hiding something from me, aren't you? Spill.
Hitoka, what are you doing here this late at night? Does Mom know you're here?
Late at night?
You know she doesn't want you and Dad spending time together.
I'm not a child. I can spend time with my father if I want to, and Mom isn't going to stop that. Neither will you.
She scowls, baring her fangs at Shuichi. He merely watches her without reacting, not minding it one bit.
Is that what this was about? You didn't want to upset Mom?
In a sense, I suppose you could say that.
Jeez, you're always overthinking things.
It's only because you never think things over, so I have to compensate. By the way, Hitoka, why are you wearing your school uniform on a Saturday night? She smiles at the mention of her uniform, twirling around where she stands and giggling.
Why wouldn't I wear it? It's adorable. Don't I look super cute in it?
You do? I hadn't noticed.
Ow!
Ow! She punches him in the shoulder, making him yelp. It's music. What was that for?
For being rude.
Hitoka shifts her weight around between her feet, looming forward and staring up at him threateningly. Shuichi leans back and away from her. How was I rude?
You're my big brother. Your job is to tell me I look cute no matter what.
What? Where did you get such a crazy idea from?
That is a big brother's #1 duty.
Hitoka, I'm afraid of hearing the answer, but have you been drinking? Ow, that hurt!
Good. Maybe it'll knock some sense into your head. Guys, can you two dial it down a little? Oh, okay.
She immediately turns around to face me, putting both of her arms behind her back and giggling cheerfully. I'll never understand women.
That's why you can never find a girlfriend.
Sure, that's why.
Speaking of girlfriends...
Oh no. Here it comes.
Yuichi-kun, you're single again, right? How about you take me out somewhere? Isn't that a great idea? It'd be super fun, right?
Hitoka starts pressing herself against me and giggling some more.
I really don't think that'd be a good idea. Oh, why not? You've given tons of other girls a chance. Why not me? Am I not cute enough?
You better say yes. Say yes. That is the correct answer.
That is really beside the point. Then what's the point? I'm a really cute girl, right? Lots of guys in my old school wanted to date me. I've already had some hitting on me in the new school, too. I'm sure I'd be good enough for you. So beside the point, Shuichi, help!
You invited her here without my consent. You deal with her.
Don't talk about me like I'm some sort of problem you can just pass on to others.
You hitting on Yuichi has nothing to do with me. He already knows where I stand on this.
He does?
Oh yes, I do. I still remember it quite clearly. Screw around with my sister and you won't live to regret it. I got the message loud and clear that day. Not like I'd ever consider it anyway. It just feels too incestuous.
Hitoka-chan, why don't you go say hello to your dad?
This is his party after all. As if she just remembered it, she steps away from me, making a humming noise as if she were thinking something over.
I guess you're right. I'll be back in a bit. Then I want to catch up, okay? It's been a while since the three of us hung out together.
Sure, we'll be waiting.
Dad, hi!
She walks off, enthusiastically waving her arm to call her father's attention. She's still very intense, I'll say. Now, do you mind explaining to me just what my sister is doing here tonight?
I just thought it'd be better if you two talked over whatever issue you had that made you not want to invite her.
So you're saying that you have no idea what my motives are, and yet you still thought you had the right to completely ignore my words and invited her anyway.
Well, when you put it that way...
There's no other way to put it, you moron!
Ah!
Shuichi grabs me by the shoulder, shaking me violently. What the hell do you have in that head of yours? Air? Was my simple instruction too hard to understand?
I'm sorry.
The hell you are! You still think you're justified. You're just saying that you're just saying what you think I want to hear.
But I just couldn't sit around and let you blow her off because of some sibling squabble or whatever.
There was no squabble, you jackass. I just didn't want her coming here today because I knew Dad would be in a bad mood after a long-ass flight and a failed trip, and I didn't want to risk him being rude to her.
What? Then why didn't you tell me?
Because I didn't need to go around telling you of all my family's problems, you moron.
Are you going to keep insulting me all night?
That depends. Are you going to keep being a dumbass all night?
He has quite a wide array of insults memorized for when he's angry, doesn't he? I'm really, really sorry. Please, calm down.
No, I should whack you upside the head and see if that knocks some sense into you.
You already said that.
Because it's true.
Gah!
Oh man, it's been a while since I've had Shuichi's anger directed at me. You better hope Dad doesn't do or say anything to upset her. I swear to God I'm taking it out on you.
Ah!
I'm screwed.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I shouldn't have done anything.
Damn right you shouldn't have. Don't stick your nose in other people's business. If I say no, that means no.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna head to the bathroom to wash my face. I need to cool off for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Man, I screwed up. I didn't think it'd be a big deal if I invited her to the party. I thought I'd be helping him. I really have to learn to keep out of other people's business.
Hey, where's Shuichi?
He went off to the bathroom.
Ah, got it.
Her eyes immediately glue onto my face, examining every inch of it.
Is there something on my face? Did you and my brother have a fight? What? Why do you... Your eyes are red. You kind of look like you're about to cry. What? Well, maybe cry is an exaggeration, but still, you look pretty sad.
She's always been a very perceptive girl. Not to mention the fact that she and Shuichi are probably the people that know me best outside of my family.
Was it because of me?
Kinda. I got in hot water for inviting you when he told me not to.
He can be such a knucklehead sometimes. I should really give him a piece of my mind.
Her tail lashes from one side to the other, fur bristled. Don't! He's already upset enough. Please don't give him a hard time. Her gaze softens when she sees the look on my face.
Fine, but just because you asked me not to...
Thank you, Hitoka. Hitoka-chan.
Geez, I was expecting him to be a little happier to see me. The two of us have barely talked the past few months.
What? Really?
Yeah, whenever I call him, he cuts the conversation short. If I try asking him to spend some time with me, he tells me he's busy and blows me off. It sucks. Shuichi, what's going on with you? He's always been so devoted and kind to Hitoka. Things have never really been the same since the divorce.
I guess he might have taken it harder than we thought.
I don't know why. It was pretty clear why the two were splitting up, and it had nothing to do with Shuichi.
People don't have to feel personally guilty to feel bad, Hitoka-chan. She pouts, looking away from me.
I guess not, but it still doesn't make any sense to me. If you think things are bad between me and him, you should see how it is with my mom. He hasn't called her or visited her since. He hasn't?
Alright, I'm gonna pause it right there. Ooh, at least we got to meet some of his family today. His sister is super adorable. His dad, kind of like a fucking tabula rasa. He's a fucking blank slate. I can't tell much about him other than that he's grumpy and that he works a lot. Alright, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!